The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. As Jesus passed by, he saw a man blind from birth. He spat on the ground and made clay with the saliva and smeared the clay on his eyes and said to him, "Go wash in the pool of Siloam," which means sent. So he went and washed and came back able to see. His neighbors and those who had seen him earlier as a beggar said, "Isn't this the one who used to sit and beg?" Some said, "It is." But others said, "No, he just looks like him." He said, "I am." They brought the one who was once blind to the Pharisees. Now Jesus had made clay and opened his eyes on a Sabbath. So then the Pharisees also asked him how he was able to see. He said to them, "He put clay on my eyes and I washed, and now I can see." Some of the Pharisees said, "This man is not from God because he does not keep the Sabbath." But others said, "How can a sinful man do such signs?" And there was a division among them. So they said to the blind man again, "What do you have to say about him, since he opened your eyes?" He said, "He is a prophet." They answered and said to him, "You were born totally in sin, and are you trying to teach us?" Then they threw him out. When Jesus heard that they had thrown him out, he found him and said, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" He answered and said, "Who is he, sir, that I may believe in him?" Jesus said to him, "You have seen him, and the one speaking with you is he." He said, "I do believe, Lord," and he worshipped him. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
In the Gospel, the Pharisees have a huge blind spot. Here is the Son of God, and everything is pointing to him. All the signs are pointing to him that he is the Son of God. And the Pharisees can't or won't see it. They have a huge blind spot. I started thinking about blind spots this week, and one really big blind spot came to me. I'd been thinking about it before I even realized this homily. And Richard Rohr and others like him have noticed that in our society we have a huge father's wound. A huge follower's wound. There is a large, large void of fathers in our world. This is not something that's new. It's not a new epidemic. But it's been around, and some people would say that it's been around since the 19th century, since the Industrial Revolution. And really, it has been and continues to reach critical mass in our society. And I'm not saying men are to blame, because our society promotes this culture. We make work the main vocation. And fatherhood is put to the side. The absence of a father has a profound effect on his children. The mother has a natural bond with her children because she has raised them in her womb and is the one who's given them nourishment. The father is the stranger. And the child's first experience of the outside world. The father's love is the first person outside of the mother that the child experiences love. And whether that father is there determines whether that child will trust or not trust the world. It affects daughters, and it really affects sons. Because the son knows, I'm not like my mother. I'm like my father. And that's where the son receives his masculine energy and spirituality from the father. I'm not saying that women do not have masculine energy. A mature adult has both masculine and feminine energy. But without any masculine energy, a child won't have that to grow up to become a man and be able to pass that on to his children, his sons. And so there's been a vicious cycle in our society where that has been absent. There's this story about elephants in Africa, and the people started to notice, this is a true story, the people started to notice that the elephants had started to act kind of crazy. They were acting violent and tearing things up. And he noticed that it was the juvenile bulls that were doing that were tearing the places up. And they wondered what was going on. And someone recognized that there were no adult bulls. The poachers had been killing all the adult bulls for the ivory. And there were no adult bulls in the pack. So they reintroduced the male bulls, the adult bulls, to the pack. And guess what happened? It stopped. And the adult bulls were able to channel the juvenile bulls, challenge them to develop that positive masculine energy. You know, is it no wonder in our society that there is so much violence? That there are children shooting children? Where are the fathers in these stories? Have you ever wondered that? We might think that the easy answer is to, well, just spend more time with our children. And that's good. That is good. But we also have to have that mature, masculine spirituality for those children. That mature, masculine energy. That positive energy. We as men need to develop a male spirituality in our life. There are no quick solutions. But certainly putting them down is not the answer. I was thinking about this, and I was really trying to find an answer this week, and it was the thing that was stumping me. And the reason is because it's been going on so long, nobody has found an answer for it. And I think that what we need is the men who have spirituality and know what that is, need to evangelize other men. And we need to look in our society of how to do that, how we can support that as men and women. I think right now, it's most important that we realize what the blind spot is.